Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 23rd of March 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the amazing Universal Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards want you to know about today and what is coming up for you. Let's have a look. Tuesday, the 23rd of March. What is coming up? Tuesday, 23rd of March. Let's have a look. First, we've got the World. The Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Pentacles. Great. Okay, so the 21st card of the Major Arcana, the World, is a card that shows that you've come to the end of a particular cycle. You have got to know yourself better. You can see the woman here. She's just got this sash around her. So it's making yourself vulnerable, accepting yourself, and embracing all the parts of you, even if you're not particularly fond of them. We all have parts of ourselves that we like and other parts that we don't like. For instance, I was just in town and I was on my little electric skateboard, and I did the wrong thing. I came around the corner and I was on the, what's it called? The sidewalk. And I'm skating there. I was going to the post office and I look down and suddenly this little French bulldog is almost on my ankle, and I get really scared and I jump off, and I look up and I see that the French bulldog is now being pulled back. The guy has got it on this really short leash, and I'm kind of rattled, and I say, "Your dog just came after me," and he's like, "No, he didn't." And I was frightened. And the denial of what just happened to me really irritated me. And I snapped and I started shouting and I called him a name. And I had my earphones in. After I was done with my bit, I walked away, got my skateboard, walked away, and he was hurling abuse at me. Thank God I had the earphones in so I didn't have to look at it, listen to what he was saying to me afterwards. But the thing is, I don't like that about me, that I can get rattled and scared and angry, and that in those moments that I can snap and start yelling. And it's embarrassing to me. If I think about going back into town now, it's like, oh, I made a big scene, how I can't even control myself, how embarrassing. Greg, you should be, you should have yourself under more control. And it's something I don't like about myself, and it just is there. So I can now spend the rest of the day beating myself up for it, or I can accept it, that I reacted badly, and next time, one, I can try and follow the rules and not skate on the sidewalk. And second of all, I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things. So the World card is saying that all parts of you are now fine. You embrace all of them. You find an inner balance. And even those things that you're not thrilled with, you don't have to kind of crucify yourself over those things. You can forgive yourself and try again next time. So the World, you can see this wreath around her. She may be vulnerable, but she's completely protected at the same time. So the card is saying that it's not about getting a bunch of eagles and lions and bulls and human beings in your army to kind of fight your battles. The card is saying that your true strength is your vulnerability and your ability to be alone with yourself, to keep yourself company. And there's nothing scary about that. None of us like to sit in an empty room and stare at the wall for an hour. It's not fun. And a lot of us go to great lengths to try and avoid spending any kind of time with ourselves because we find it empty and scary and unpleasant, and we have to face things about ourselves that we don't like. And the World card is a card that says, you get it. You realize that your true value and your strength and your assets in life and in the world reside in you. When you stop chopping yourself up into little bits of parts you like and you don't like, you embrace the whole thing and you become a whole person, or you return to your true nature, because you can't ever be half a person, but you can certainly deny yourself certain parts. The wreath then says, this natural state of being makes you invincible, completely balanced, so the inner and the outer, perfect. If you have an idea, you know how to see it through. If you have a passion, you know exactly how that can play out. If you have ideas and messages you want to share, you can do that. If you have desires for relationship and to be intimate, you know how to do that. So it's really a return to self. It's a great understanding of the self, embracing the self and accepting the self. That is the total completion of a cycle. Because again, as they say in the recovery rooms, what you resist persists. So if you're fighting against something, it's always going to be there. Once you accept something and you embrace it, it no longer persists, it's resolved and it goes away. The space you create for yourself finishes off this wheel, and it allows you to focus on the wheel of the 10th card in the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, and that says that you're at a crossroads in your life. 10 is always transition, and you have choices to make. And you can really change your circumstances. Notice also that we've got the same elements. So each one of these things represents an element in the tarot and in astrology. We've got air, earth, fire, and human beings are water. Here we've got this too. We've got the earth, fire, air, water, and they all have wings. So they're not bound by the laws of physics. You can change these things around, your passions, your practical circumstances, your ideas, your perception, the way you love. You can change all of that, not by going and making a ton of money or finding a relationship, but by changing the set of place, the vibration that you vibrate at, the frequency you're at. You can change that internally. And what the card is saying is that the outer stuff will then follow suit. So both cards are saying that the only power in the universe that you need to be interested in is you. You're at the center of everything. And you can only fail or do badly if you decide to separate yourself into bits you love and bits you don't love. If you embrace the whole thing, you create balance in yourself, you regain your whole power, and then you can decide which area you want to go in. And then you don't just have 3 or 4 choices, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do whatever it is you want. You're free from the restrictions of your life. So just because in your area there are only 3 certain types of jobs people can do, that's not going to stop you and say, well, I'll have to take number 2 because that's all there is. Instead, you may find that you can create your own work. So the world doesn't really have anything on you. You're totally empowered, and you've reclaimed your strength. And that then allows you to make some choices. And the card, the 9 of Pentacles, says that regardless of the choice you make, you're ultimately going to end up in a position where you can work effectively on that area of your choice. So it doesn't matter if you decide to write your novel, or if you decide to discover your life purpose, or if you decide to go on dating apps because you want to find a partner. Whatever is important to you is what you ought to be focusing on. That's what opens a particular path for you. These elements all have wings, so it's something that can manifest in your life without looking at the practicals, but the spirituals, the spiritual truths of things. And then when you've made that choice, each pentacle represents a job well done. She's very elegant, disciplined. She's got this falcon on her wrist. That takes a lot of training and time. Grapes, abundance, wealth, money, patience, growth, love. This is the good life. This is easy street as a result of your hard work, not inheritance. She's worked very hard. That's why she's beautifully dressed and she's in this environment, and she can thank herself for all of that. So let's say you pick the area of travel or education or love or work or money. That focus, and try and keep it as simple as possible with 1 or 2 things. You'll really feel where the interest is. It's beyond doubt. You're not going to question that because you're so aligned with yourself and so balanced. It'll be like a fire being turned on. It's going to be very, very noticeable. Choose your area and then use your practical skills, your ability to create wondrous beauty on planet Earth, your skills, your patience, your ability to make things happen. and you'll really go a long way, and you'll end up in a position where you have an abundance of whatever area you focused on. So if it is love, you're going to make a lot of progress. If it is money, you'll make a lot of progress. If it is thoughts and ideas, you'll come up with new ideas and have some eureka moments that'll help you work with that. And you'll have a very positive outcome. Ultimately, she is someone let's say this is the end of the day, right? She's gone to work. She's had a wonderful day. Otherwise, she wouldn't come home and be surrounded in all this beauty and be so calm and have time to do her falconry. If she'd had a terrible day and it was all frustrating and no productivity, she wouldn't be looking like this. So the cards are saying that the true understanding of yourself allows you to make some really wise choices, and you're able to back up or devote yourself to those choices in a practical sense. You can work on them, you can make them real, you can manifest them. And it's not about getting from the outside world, it's about reclaiming the power that already resides in you and is always there. Number-wise, we've got 21 and 9 is 30, and 10 is 40. 40 reduces to 4 in numerology, and 4 is about security and structure. We haven't had that for a while. It's the kind of energy that's represented by Saturn in astrology. It's the structure, the rules, the head teacher, the things that you can rely on. The choice that you make is a choice you can rely on. They will serve you in future. They're not here today, gone tomorrow. This is building the foundation of your house, which you can then live in for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So it's a building block kind of day. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy this amazing sense of self and really honor that. If you would like a personal reading with me, please do get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, just click on book your reading to audio reading with me. In my readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology. To draw up your astrology chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. Once I've got that, I've got a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born, and I can really look at the things that you may not be so sure about. Your life purpose, your work, what kind of work you're going to be good at, travel, spiritual development, personal growth, emotional maturity, contentment with self, how to get there, what you can do to actually find some peace of mind. If you have any questions at all, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, share the video online. I'm going to go and, meditate and talk this out, the thing that's playing on my mind, and try and let it go. Not blame myself and really take my own advice. Especially if this is the reading for Tuesday the 23rd, and Monday the 22nd, if I remember correctly, yesterday's reading was much more about aligning yourself with others and really not having kind of freak out moments. But Tuesday is much more likely that you do assert yourself and you stand in your truth. So if you're someone like me, and if you're a little bit frustrated at the moment with other people trying to define your feelings and your truth, and you're assertive anyway, then just be aware on this day as well that if someone crosses you and you're in this process of working and making decisions and figuring out yourself, if someone comes and says things that you don't appreciate or you think that are silly, there may be a bit of a temper involved, and you're like, excuse me, you're distracting me. I'm doing some really important personal work. Can you just close the door? Thank you. So I think that's the final thing that I do want to mention. Just be aware that your temper may be a bit short because you are so focused that it makes sense. If other people or things really just suck up all your time and just distract you endlessly on this day, you're not going to have patience for that because you're doing a lot of good work. But yeah, learn from my mistake. Don't snap in the middle of the town loudly. Okay. Have a great day. If you would like to speak to me, then do get in touch via my website. Have a fabulous Tuesday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.